Welcome to this week's Kincardine United Church Fireside Chat. This is where I reflect on current events from a faith perspective using humor and videos and a blessing. Thanks to the skills of Judy Zarubik, the technology flows smoothly as she records it all. Then Terry Boyd uploads this recording to our YouTube channel where you found us. So thank you, Terry and Judy, very much. I'm so glad that they take care of the technology. After all, I'm sometimes overwhelmed with keeping up with the changes in the technology as it arrives. Then there's a problem with my laptop. I wonder what I did wrong. I better understand things viscerally, even when watching a cat. There is a darker side to cats, though. There are times I ignore medical advice to my detriment. Maybe it's because I figure death comes for us all, so why fight the inevitable? For chickens, death can have its comforts. Even in death, some things never change. I want to continue to talk about death as it relates to a small sector of our youth. November 20th is International Trans Day of Remembrance. This day of remembrance is marked to memorialize those trans persons who have been murdered because of transphobia or who have died of suicide. You see, the suicide rate for trans individuals is 5 times the national average, and 40% of trans people have experienced suicidal ideation. My prayer for you watching is this. May you never know the fear of having your human rights challenged every time there is an election. And may you never know the pain of watching loved ones vote against your right to exist fully, equally, and authentically. And yes, I know it seems like this is happening only in the United States. However, even in Canada, the rights and safety of trans people are threatened, while kids face the greatest dangers in name of so-called parental rights. We need to protect our trans siblings, especially our kids. After all, more kids will end their own lives or be kicked out of their homes if they dare to come out as trans. Let me introduce you to Lanny Irving. Lanny died of cancer on Easter Sunday this year, but he was a persistent and passionate advocate for trans rights in our community. After all, he was a trans man, here pictured with his youngest son, raising the trans flag at the Davidson Center last year. Lanny would take the opportunity each year at the trans flag raising to read out the names of the trans individuals who had died in the previous 12 months. It was heartrending to listen to all those names, all those people who were murdered or chose to die by suicide because they were not accepted for who they knew themselves to be. I worry for the Canadian children who are not allowed to use their chosen pronouns in school for fear of being outed to their parents. I firmly believe that students should be able to discuss their identity with their parents whenever they are ready, regardless of how they present within schools. To establish laws otherwise goes against ample evidence. You see, many trans, non-binary, and gender diverse youth do not feel safe discussing their identity at home. Not only do kids feel unsafe at home, but they also feel unsafe at school for fear of being outed to their parents. That fear is legitimate because Too many of us know what it feels like to be bullied at school.
Dear Mom, miss me. Your happy son, the one that used to laugh, he got lost in the cold, never found except in your eyes and photographs. Dear Dad, I'm sorry. You said to be strong, you little man, but I let go. I'll never know why it was me that they bullied so mercilessly. So let tomorrow start without me, and just hold on to your memory. I know I can't say, Mama, please don't cry, stop you from searching for a reason why. Just know that I'll miss and love you so. It was my time, so let me go. I know I've gotta say, Daddy, now's goodbye. Our memories and you lullaby. I miss a chance to tell you so. You're my best friend, you're my hero. I just gotta let you know, it was my time, I had to go. Dear Mama, dear son, I'm broken. I'm filled with such guilt and misery. I was here, I was alone. You weren't alone, and now I'm gone. Your heart is now mine, forever home. So let tomorrow start without me. Now it's only a memory. I know I can't say, Mama, please don't cry, and stop you from searching for a reason why. Just know that I'll miss and love you so. It was my time, so let me go. I know I've gotta say, Daddy, now's goodbye. Our memories, your new lullaby. I miss a chance to tell you so. You're my best friend, you're my hero. Please forgive me. How was I so blind? Didn't see your agony. I was to shelter you from the rain. Oh, be your strength and relieve your pain. And though the world still turns, my heart just yearns for you, for you. I know I can't say, Mama, please don't cry, stop you from searching for a reason why. Just know that I'll miss and love you so. It was my time, I had to go. I know I can't say, Mama, please don't cry, I'll never stop searching for a reason why. Just know that I'll miss and love you so. It was my time, so let me go. I know I've gotta say, Daddy, now's goodbye. Our memories, your new lullaby. I miss a chance to tell you so. You're my best friend, you're my hero.
That is certainly a powerful video about bullying, but such bullying is far greater for those who identify as trans. To have their parents participate in that bullying is terrifying. It robs life of any joy, of any feelings of safety, of any reason to live. I know some of you struggle with this issue because it is so foreign to anything you may have experienced personally. let me offer this. Some of my own contemporaries, baby boomers all, have told me back in our day, people dressed according to their gender. However, this picture of cool rockers comes from our boomer era. Following the way of Jesus means we love people as they are, not as we feel they should be. Trans lives for me are more important than cis feelings. And cis, by the way, means those people who identify as the same gender they were assigned at birth. So consider this. If children are old enough to know that they are cis or straight, they are also old enough to know that they are trans and or gay. In fact, trans kids deserve to know how to live and survive in the system. And yes, I know that is a terrible pun. I strongly believe that trans rights are human rights. In 1890, the X and Y chromosomes were discovered. At that time, due to limited testing, it was assumed that the Y chromosome defined masculinity. However, over the long years of research since then, the complexity of genetics has multiplied. Our scientific knowledge these days seems to indicate that gender identity is related to timing in fetal development. Sometimes a boy is born looking like a girl. Sometimes a girl is born looking like a boy, regardless of chromosomes. What scientists do understand is that intersex people and trans people absolutely exist. So let me give you a brief guide to gender affirming healthcare. First, children are not being mutilated. When a child or a teen comes out as trans, they go with their parents to their doctor, who then refer them to specialists, including mental health professionals and hormone specialists. An assessment is performed, which includes the child's caregivers, exploring the possibility of gender dysphoria and mental health issues, like anxiety and depression. If gender dysphoria is diagnosed, the team takes into consideration the child's age, level of support they receive around them, and that's pivotal, and what has already been done outside of medical care to alleviate their dysphoria. No surgeries are performed on young children. No hormones are administered. These common misconceptions drive a lot of anti-trans sentiment. When the child reaches puberty and they are found to be dysphoric, puberty blockers may be administered, which is a treatment even as some cis children receive when puberty arrives much too early. My middle daughter was one of those. These medications have been rigorously tested over the years with potential side effects closely monitored. Puberty blockers basically hit the pause button and are fully reversible. Studies show very few kids who are seen at gender identity clinics step off puberty blockers because they tend to know who they are. After a time on puberty blockers, the child will begin hormone replacement therapy. After all, a growing body needs hormones of some kind, so remaining on blockers indefinitely can cause harm. If puberty blockers are denied until adulthood, the body goes through puberty in the wrong gender direction, at least in the perception of the child, leading to intense depression or suicidal ideation, the very kind of thing we saw in the video. Hormone replacement therapy is gradual and constantly monitored. So it can be stopped and reversed if necessary. As for surgery, most trans teens don't access it until adulthood. If still a minor, only very limited procedures are allowed for them. No young children are allowed surgery. These procedures are similar to the ones that allow minors to access birth control, cancer treatments, and other critical care that affects their bodily autonomy. Finally, fewer than 1% of trans people regret undergoing gender-affirming care. That's the medical information that I believe is helpful. However, how do we wrestle with this from a faith perspective? God is the original they, them. In Genesis chapter 1, the ancient Hebrew word for God is Elohim, which is plural and non-gender. Here's why using they as a pronoun for God is beneficial. As a pronoun that functions as both singular and plural, they is a theologically accurate way to refer to God, who is simultaneously one and many. Alongside the use of she, calling God they is an important step towards pushing back against centuries of masculinizing the divine. To normalize the use of a singular they is an emerging option for gender-neutral language. All language for God falls short, so diversifying pronouns helps us to expand our understanding of who God is beyond our preconceived notions and comforts. Indeed, the life, death, and resurrection of Christ was all about modeling inclusion of all people. For Jesus, non-binary, trans, gender fluid, two-spirit people are sacred beings. The United Church of Canada's official statement about this issue reflects the mission for the national church: bold discipleship, daring justice, and deep spirituality, stating, "We are calling for the protection and affirmation of the rights of two-spirit and LGBTQIA+ people, particularly transgender and non-binary youth. Gender and sexuality are gifts of God, and all persons are made in the image of God." In our community of faith, when we are called to create a safer space within which trans kids feel free to be who they know themselves to be, that is healthy. After all, each of us continues to unfold like a flower's petals as we explore and find our own true selves, as we grow within community to understand how to interact with one another lovingly. The fear that far too many trans children, teens, and adults experience is the opposite of our Christian calling. Ponder that call to wholeness as you watch this video of the One Voice Children's Choir covering the song "Grow as We Go" by Ben Platt.
You say there's so much you don't know. You need to go and find yourself. You say you'd rather be alone, 'cause you think you won't find it tied to someone else. Who said it's true that the growing only happens on your own? They don't know me and you. I don't think you have to leave. If the change is what you need, you can change right next to me. When you're high, I'll take blows. You can ebb and I can flow, and we'll take it slow and grow as we go. Grow as we go. I don't know who will
'Cause if change is what you need, you can change right next to me.
When you're high, I'll take the lows. You can ebb and I can flow. We'll take it slow and grow as we go. Grow as we go. Grow as we go. Grow as we go.
Grow as we go.
This video describes the highs and lows of living. However, the roller coaster of life is easier to ride when you have people around you who embrace you in your becoming, all while accepting and celebrating you for who you know yourself to be, growing alongside you in their own way, while supporting you, while supported by you along with others in the congregation. It is a mutual and reciprocal relationship of love. The next Fireside chat will be recorded on November 30th, so I look forward to our time together through these Fireside chats. Before I go, let me share a prayer of blessing written by Celtic spiritual leader John Philip Newell. As you look at the intricate Celtic artistry in this image, which accompanies the prayer in Newell's book, Praying with the Earth, consider how interwoven we all become within God's tapestry of inclusion. Let's pray. Light within all light, soul behind all souls. At the breaking of dawn, at the coming of the day, we wait and watch. Your light within the morning light, your soul within the human soul, your presence beckoning to us from the heart of life. In the dawning of this day, let us know fresh shinings in our soul. In the growing colors of new beginning all around us, let us know the first lights of our heart. Great star of the morning, inner flame of the universe, let us be a color in this new dawning. Let us be a joyously free part of the rainbow of your creation. Amen. I pray that such a rainbow of inclusion may be so far for all of us as we find our place of becoming and of belonging in life. Until next time, goodbye.